Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here, and I'm joined by a special guest tonight. I brought my daughter Haley in. She wanted to come hang out with me while I was recording one of these. So everybody out there, even though you're seeing this way later, everybody say hello to my daughter Haley. So she's hanging out in here with me while I'm recording a brand new episode of Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, and she's playing Super Mario World Boy Advance. So we're all gaming in here tonight. And it feels really good to be back, by the way. I have not filmed one of these in nearly 3 weeks because, as some of you may know, I no longer live at this house where my office is, so getting over here has been a little bit more difficult. And not to mention I've also been sick for almost 2 weeks, so it's been really hard to, have the the wherewithal and energy and just overall health to do it. But now I am here, and we're in the zone, and we're gonna do the damn thing. So we're gonna do tonight, because we've been locked up in that championship trophy race that was so wildly maddening that it made me want to pull both of my eyeballs out and then throw them out into heavy traffic. We're gonna do something different. I was thinking about doing the Vitz race, but I'm not going to. Instead, I wanted to do the Clio Cup, because I really like this car. I don't know why. I have no real objective reason for liking it. It's kind of a funky looking car, but there's just something about, especially this color of it, this whatever color it is, it doesn't really say, I guess. It's just blue. It's like bluish purple. I really like it, and so I'm gonna buy it, and we're gonna, oh yeah, I am going to load this thing up to freaking Kingdom Come. And then we'll do the tournament race with it, huh? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so suspension full customized. Don't need it, I don't think. Engine intake. I can't get any of these things anyways, which means I can't get any of these things anyways because they're already purchased, which is fine. Here we go. That's where the pork fat is. Okay, so we got 474. That's pretty respectable. No intercoolers. Tires are important. It's already got the mediums, but since we're doing 10-lap races, I would like to go with super slicks, because that way they're warming up at the right time and not the right time. And then, okay, so that's everything we can realistically do here. And let's do, even though I've heard conflicting opinions on this. I don't know whether people say change the oil as soon as you buy it because it makes it better. I don't know if that is a thing or not, so I'm just gonna do it because if it helps, it helps. The heart wants what the heart wants. So we're gonna go into professional league. We're probably gonna have just enough time to do one of these tonight. Yes? Oh, nothing? Okay. She's rubbing my back. See? Is she not awesome or what? Anytime that you can be playing a video game and your daughter rubs your back for you while you're doing it, the game's over. It's the best thing there is. Just about. So, we go. I have 2 talking points for you. Sorry, if I swallow and it looks like I'm grimacing and it hurts, it's because it does. My the back of my tongue is just killing me, and it hurts really bad, and I don't like it. But I can't do anything about it. So, we're gonna make it work. I think I probably still have like residual parts of an ear infection, and so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Oh yes. If I lose this, I'm gonna be so mad because we're literally the only Clio race car in here. There's no reason why this should even be close. But it will be, because why not? That's just how these go. I want a comfortable win, okay? With the way that we had to do some of those races in that last tournament we were in, I think that I have more than earned the right. I have fought for my right to party, and now I may party like a rock star and other song titles that include the name Party, like Party in the USA, which, hey, I don't like her. I don't like Miley Cyrus, I really don't, but that song's kind of a jam. It really is, and I have no shame in admitting that. So, you want to tell me that, I'm a horrendous pile of, skin and bones? Well, you jump your candy ass right through that TV and tell me yourself. And I'll probably shake your hand and tell you that you're awesome because, you know, I love everybody. Except for the people that I don't. And so, there we go. I don't know, I'm sure there's probably somebody in the world I don't love. I would probably say that I don't love Miley Cyrus if we had to get down to it, but I don't hate her either. So I guess I'm indifferent on her if we really have to get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. Anywho, I have 2 talking points tonight. One of which is hilarious. The other 2 to me is hilarious, but to somebody else may not be quite as hilarious. So the first one, I had this weird, really weird dream, and it may be kind of scatterbrained because it happened like almost 3 weeks ago, but it just kind of popped into my head again a little bit earlier today, and so I was like, oh my god, if I film I gotta tell you guys this, because it's a pretty obscure dream. I've told you guys about many a dream over the years, and this one certainly ranks up there pretty well with the best of them, I think. Minus the one where I had to confront all of my childhood demons that were chasing after me in like a business park or whatever. But in this dream, Michaela and I, for whatever reason, I don't know why or how, but we were at like this weird Chinese hotel that I think might have been in. It seemed like it might have been in Vegas, but I don't know. All the text everywhere was Chinese, and it was kind of freaking me out. But we were in our room, and we were just hanging out in there, and I pulled out of my duffel bag, not the piece of cake from Rookie of the Year, where Marv is literally talking about, he's like, and I put it in my duffel bag, and voila, breakfast. Basically, I pull a little cap gun out of my bag. Do you remember cap guns, by the way? Were those things not super tight or what? You buy the gun, and then you could go to like the store in the weird janky toy section and buy like little like refiller things of caps, and they just sound like, you know, 4th of July fireworks are going off, and you make, you know, the old man that's sitting out in his lawn chair right next door to you, you make him shit his pants because he has the lowest shutter speed colon-wise of all the men on the planet. And he's like, you damn kids, you should have been firing off those fake guns out here. I was in 17 wars. You know what that'll do to a man in his colon? It's so rude. And so, with that, oh boy. So anyhow, so pull out this cap gun, and we pull the thing out, and I was just gonna scare her because she'd gone to the bathroom, and I was just gonna give her like a little shock to be an asshole, pretty much. And so when she comes out of the bathroom, I'm pointing this thing at her, and I, you know, pull the trigger on this gun. Don't get ahead of yourself, by the way. I didn't totally just blow her head off or anything. that's not where this is going. It's going a different direction than what you might be thinking. But when I fired it off, the gun basically exploded in my hand, and like the caps that I was using, all 6 of them fired off at once. And they all had these different colored, like, firework type of things that came shooting out of the gun, and they ended up, like, they, like, almost started to light the walls on fire, but they illuminated every corner of the room a different color, which was really cool. But it made, like, this super crazy, hardcore crackling sound that I can't replicate, mainly because my mouth hurts. But it was, like, a mixture of, like, a Whistling Pete and, like, the super, you know, ground poppy things that, you know, kids throw around everywhere and get like 5 million gallons of that stupid sawdust all over the place. That's basically the same thing as sand from the beach, because once you get it in your socks, it never comes out. But yeah, it made this hair-raising, spine-obliterating noise that was so crazy. It was really cool. Like, we both got a great laugh out of it after she socked me in the arm and gave me a dead arm that I could have sworn I felt in the morning when I woke up. But after that happened, all of a sudden we hear banging on the door and a bunch of just screaming in Chinese that I didn't understand a single word of it. And so I opened the door, and as soon as I opened the door, like 4 or 5 Chinese cops just come swarming in the room. and they all have guns drawn in my face, and they're just yelling stuff in my face of which I cannot understand any of it. And so I'm assuming they were probably less than excited about the whole cap gun incident. And so they grab me and they throw me on the floor, and they grab Michaela and they take us. They put like a bag over our head, and they take us to an elevator, and we go straight down to, I'm assuming, like way too many floors below the surface of the ground, to like this weird, like probably like their security office type of area, like where all their security guards and whatever are supposed to be at. And as soon as the door of the elevator opens up, they take the bags off of our heads. We go out there, and it's like this. It's supposed to be their office, but it's like this super, super lavish. I'm talking like cream of the crop, fit to feed, like fit to have like the royal family of England just dining in there at any given time. It's like this super lavish McDonald's is supposedly their security office, and they've got all their people in there just chomping away on like these jewel-encrusted Big Macs and like these like double cheeseburgers that are just like dripping in liquid gold. And like they're drinking their sodas out of like these really, really fine, like platinum diamond encrusted like goblet glasses. It's just like super crazy, not fitting at all for what the restaurant is type of place. And so where this guy walks up to me, and he's wearing, he looks like the captain or whatever of this force, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I've heard about your transgressions that took place upstairs, and he's like, I'm extremely disappointed in you." I was like, "I don't know who you are and how you're disappointed in me, but I'm sorry. I did not expect that outcome to come out of this little plastic gun that I bought from the grocery store." He's like, I will give you and yours one chance to redeem yourself." And he said it with such this totally disingenuous smirk on his face. He's like, "I will give you one chance to redeem yourselves. Otherwise, you will suffer the consequences." And he gave me just this totally freaking snake-worthy little smirky smile at me. And he's like, come with me. And so he takes us into this back room, past where like the cooks are at. He takes me into this back room where there's this big ass slot machine. It's just this huge slot machine. He's like, I will let you and your wife leave. Because in my dream she was my wife already. We're getting married in a month, by the way. We're almost there. The time has almost come. But he's like, I will let you and your wife go if each one of you on this slot machine within your first 10 rolls can spin a jackpot. If you can get a jackpot within your first 10 spins on this slot machine, then you can both go free. Otherwise, we have to kill you both. And I was like, okay. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, the odds of that are so disgustingly low. I mean, we're basically just signing our death warrant by being in the room. And so I was like, oh, all right. And so I was like, I'll let her go first. I was like, ladies first, which is probably the most cowardice move ever. But I was like, well, ladies first, I suppose. And she looks at me and she's like, screw you. And so she goes, and she got a jackpot on her 8th spin. And I was like, what? Awesome. I was so excited for her that she escaped, she basically defied the odds and certain doom, by spinning this jackpot. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm up. I was like, but there's like no way I'm going to survive this thing. So I do my first spin. Nothing. Second spin. Nothing. Third spin. Nothing. Fourth spin. Nothing. Fifth spin. Almost had it. I had 2 7s, and the third 7 was like, it was like just a notch off, and so it didn't count. And I was like, no! 6th spin did the exact same thing. It did the exact same thing. And I'm just sitting here like losing it, and I was like, dude, this sucks. 8th spin, same thing. 9th spin, same thing. And so when I had 4 spins like this in a row, I felt so defeated. I was like, there's no way that this is gonna work. Like, the thing is toying with me. Like, there's got to be a guy behind the door of this machine that's just like, he's getting my hopes up just to dash it so they can, you know, behead me and wear it as a Halloween mask or something. And so I spin the final time, and it turned into like this crazy action movie, like an anime thing, where the borders like crunch in on my eyes, and I'm sitting here looking at the thing, you know, with my eyes wide open, and it's like moving extra slow. And the first reel comes up, and it's a 7, and the second one comes up, and it's a 7, and the third one, it comes up, and it like lands a little crooked, but it kind of teeters, and then it landed on the thing, and I got it on my 10th spin, and I was just like, oh my god! And you know, we were so excited, and we both defied the laws of science, essentially. You know, every bit of probability, and we both got our jackpot. And the guy was so mad, and he's just like, "This is impossible. There's no way that this could have happened. Nobody's ever gotten jackpots on this, even on 1,000 spins." And so he got so mad. He's like, he's just like, "Stay right there," and so he runs into the kitchen, and he comes out with these 2 big, like, deep fryer things full of hot oil. And he tried throwing both of them at us, and we both ducked out of the way, and behind us there were 3 pigs for some reason, and it landed on, all the oil landed on these pigs and just totally destroyed them. Like, they morphed into pieces of bacon. It was so weird. They didn't conventionally die. They literally just, like, cartoony morphed into just these mounds of bacon. And I reached back and took one, and we had to escape this hotel, and we ran away while I was eating strips of bacon in the meantime. And it was so freaking bizarre, but that was the dream. We went to a Chinese hotel. We got basically arrested for using a plastic cap gun in the room. Their security office was a giant, you know, super rich person McDonald's, where the burgers were basically made out of liquid gold, and they were drinking out of diamond-encrusted goblets. And we had to spin jackpots. We won, and then the police chief of this Chinese hotel killed 3 pigs with deep fryer oil and turned them into mounds of bacon, and I took it while we ran. That was my dream. I promise I wasn't doing drugs, because don't do drugs, kids. It's bad for you. Even if you think it's fun, it sucks. Not like I have any prior experience, because I don't. But yeah, so that was one thing. I will actually save the other talking topic for another time. But I do want to, since we're on the topic of Chinese things, let me tell you, I watched the other night. I've been wanting to watch this series of movies for quite a while now, because I've seen that it's been on Netflix, and I've seen them, you know, I've seen them advertised random places before, as, you know, in terms of, you know, really good martial arts movies, because I love martial arts movies. You know, things like Bloodsport is one of my, it's one of my favorite martial arts movies, whether you like Jean-Claude Van Damme or you don't. I adored that movie. It's good. When they do the Kumite tournament at the end, and Frank Dukes gets the win over Chong Li, despite the fact that Chong Li's totally a cheating piece of crap. I love that movie. It's really good. I decided to watch the Ip Man series, if that's how you say it. I don't know if it's Ip Man or if it's IP Man. I'm fairly certain it's Ip Man, though. And it's basically a movie about, for those of you that don't know, basically a movie about a Chinese martial arts master that goes from, you know, being, you know, living a wonderfully lavish, you know, lifestyle of the rich and famous, and being incredibly skilled at I think it's Wing Chun, may have been the martial arts style that he was doing. I think it was Wing Chun and maybe like some type of Kung Fu, to basically having everything taken from him when the Japanese forces invaded China, and so it turned his entire village into just a crazy impoverished nightmare. And so he decided to take a stand against it, essentially by using his martial arts skills and challenging the Japanese, one of their generals, who's also a martial arts enthusiast, to, you know, to fighting, and it just, like, the action scenes in that movie are so good. It's so good. It's like, some of the things are certainly probably physically impossible, I would say. There are a couple of kicks in there that I'm almost positive would not be feasible at all. But it was super cool. I absolutely endorse them to anybody that loves martial arts movies, or just good quality action movies in general. It's kind of slow paced sometimes. It's not in English. It's all subtitled. But oh my gosh, it's so good. There were parts of that in some of the action combat scenes where I'm just like, what is happening right now? It was great. It was really, really good. So, if you guys are looking for a good movie to watch tonight, today, this afternoon, on your birthday, Arbor Day, Groundhog Day, Boxing Day, Yom Kippur, any other holiday that exists in the world, give it a watch. It's you won't regret it. It's fantastic. There are apparently 4 of these movies in this series. There's Ip Man 1, 2, The Final Fight, which apparently was the 3rd one, and then Ip Man 3, which is supposed to be the 4th one, but they call it the 3rd one, even though it came out 2 years after the 3rd one. So it doesn't make sense, but it is. So, it's good stuff. It really is. So, my friends, that race was cake, and I would love to have like 4 more races just like that. So, when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, I will have more stories for you guys, because I do, you know. You can't go 3 weeks of not filming anything and not have stories to talk about. So, with that said, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Bye.